everyone, happy holidays here from the Final Cut. It is I, Mark the Movie Man, and I just want to say thank you for all my subscribers and friends out there. I know I'm not as large as the Jeremy Janses or the Schmoes out there, but I appreciate every single one of you watching, friending me on YouTube, or subscribing to the channel, watching, commenting. Thank you very much. As long as you keep watching, I will keep making these. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a happy and safe holiday. Also of note, speaking of holidays, we are going to be on the Dixon Cider show again this coming Wednesday. You want to check it out. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about holiday movies and God knows what else. So if you didn't get a chance to check out our last podcast about the Halloween movies, check out this one. They're a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy it. Though our language and subject matter does tend to get a little mature, so you may not want the kiddies to listen in. Now, on to our holiday special. Folks, didn't do one for a while, so I felt the need to do one. Let's look at some Christmas movies that aren't quite Christmas films. Starting off with Joe Dante's Gremlins, yes, from 1984. Who would have thought this story was actually written by Chris Columbus, the guy who brought us Home Alone? Now, in this story, we've got a boy who receives a package as a pet. It's a mogwai, cute, cuddly, adorable mogwai with only 3 little rules. Don't feed him after midnight, keep him out of the sunlight, and don't get him wet. Well, of course, all 3 rules get broken, and pop up these really ugly little gremlin monster creatures that wreak havoc on a town during the holiday season. Folks, this is a lot of fun. Who would have thought the director of Piranha would bring us this film, right? It's a great overall monster film. It's definitely for you, not just horror fans out there, but those looking for a different Christmas film. Now, there is some gory parts in there. There's a lot of black comedy in here and a lot of fun just in sitting back and enjoying and watching this little creature film with these gremlins. I definitely recommend it. It's not your normal holiday film, but it's definitely one to watch. And yes, it does have some of the best use of Do You Hear What I Hear from Johnny Mathis, that song. I love the way that whole scene was directed. Joe Dante did a great job there and a great job on this film. Now, on to one for the more mature folks in the crowd, and we're talking Trading Places with a huge cast list. This was brought to us by John Landis. He directed it, and it's got the likes of Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Don Amici, Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, the list goes on who was all in this story about how these 2 very rich CEOs decide to do an experiment, a social experiment. They take a bum, played by Eddie Murphy, very hilarious, him in his, high point of comedy. They take him, put him in the place of this rich socialite, played by Dan Aykroyd, and they then take this rich socialite and put him down and ruin his life as well, kind of making him a bum, just to see who could adapt better to their environment. And of course, things go awry, and it's a comedy, so lots of other events happen, and the experiment doesn't go how they planned. Folks, this is a great movie, a lot of fun, very funny, but definitely for the older audience members out there. I love this one. I used to watch it a lot when I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but performances are great by all. The writing and pacing is fun in this film. It is a holiday Christmas film of sorts, and for you notes out there, for all you horror fans, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queen. As many horror films as she was in, this movie marks the first time she actually goes topless. So it also kind of sets itself in that mark as well. Definitely check it out for the mature audiences looking for a different holiday film. Now, on to Lethal Weapon, yet another mature action film starring Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and this story tells of a crazy kind of suicidal cop who gets paired with a family man cop who's just trying to live to retirement as they try to take down the bad guys. Folks, Lethal Weapon is the definitive buddy cop film, I think. I think out of all the buddy cop films that came out of the late 80s, early 90s, this one was the best one. The chemistry between these 2 actors was great, plus you get the performance of Mel Gibson in there, who is your anti-hero, right? So he's kind of the crazy nutso guy, so it definitely recommended. I know I covered it in the franchise, the 6-pack there, but definitely check out Lethal Weapon. It is a holiday film, and one I think you'll enjoy if you like action films. Now, on to a pair of Tim Burton films. We've got one movie for you superhero fans out there. Those of you who were born after 1990 may not know it, but there was Batman Returns, a sequel to Batman, also directed by Tim Burton. Now, this one was a little more commercialized, but it had some great performances in there. I love Danny DeVito's Penguin, and who wouldn't want Michelle Pfeiffer in that Catwoman outfit under their Christmas tree at night? Folks, this is just a great superhero movie that takes place during Christmas. Your performances, you got Michael Keaton back as Batman, which he does a fantastic job in this role. I loved him as Tim Burton's Batman. And Tim Burton's, again, style all over the place with this. Truly made to be a comic book live-action film, not a live-action film that takes place in the real world that's a comic book hero like your Batman Begins and that. So it's a little more comic booky, still a lot of fun to watch and some great lines as well. Finally, another Tim Burton film that is one of my all-time favorite films. Visually stunning. Edward Scissorhands is a holiday film. Winona Ryder, Johnny Depp. Great chemistry in there. Johnny Depp as Edward Scissorhand, the man with scissor hands, who's found by a suburbanite going door-to-door selling Avon. She takes him in, feeling sorry for him, and he ends up falling in love with her daughter, played by Winona Ryder. It's kind of a Frankenstein Christmassy tale. You got a cameo of Vincent Price in there, in Tim Burton styles plastered all over the place, giving his kind of commentary visually on how suburban life is, and the castle. I don't think there's a right angle in that castle. It's definitely a classic, a beautiful film. Soundtrack by Danny Elfman is fantastic. If there's any of these films you want to see, definitely see Edward Scissorhands. You can even watch it with some of the younger folks, so there are a few scarier scenes in there. It's just a hilarious film. It's got comedy, it's got commentary, it's got love, it's got romance, it's got everything you want in this holiday film that you're looking for that isn't quite a holiday film. Okay, Edward Scissorhands, #1 on my list for these types of films. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Again, folks, thank you so much for watching. Check us out later this week. I have some more reviews for you, and who knows else what will show up.